Thank you very much for joining us. We're in conversation with Amit Kalyani of Bharat Forge, who's here at the World Economic Forum at Davos. When we speak to global economists, WEF, IMF, the mood is very somber. They're talking about the risks of a recession. What's the sense that you get when you speak to other CEOs at the India Lounge? What's the mood like?
Well, Chandra, I haven't actually spoken to anyone yet because I don't think too many people have arrived. But you are right. The mood is somber. We have a lot of geopolitical issues going on. So obviously that weighs down on people. I think India is one of the bright spots in the world. It's growing. It's vibrant. Our policies and the government is delivering on a lot of big things. And this is a place where at least for the next 15-20 years, a lot of investment is going to happen, catch-up investment in infrastructure. So infrastructure is a enabler for growth across sectors. And I think the boom time of India is here. Yes, there will be 1 or 2 years which may be difficult because of externalities, not because of India. But we have the resilience to see it through. Our foreign exchange reserves are good. Our inflation is under control. GDP growth is fairly strong. Banks are in a decent shape. So I think generally speaking, India is in a good spot.
Right. And tell us about your own plans when it comes to transition to green steel, because that's becoming a global issue. I think the EU, Europe also is planning to impose tax on steel that's produced from fossil fuels, and you have very big ambitions for green steel.
So look, we have a very simple philosophy. We believe in technology, innovation, and being different. So you may know that we launched our green steel on the 21st of December, where one of our plants has been converted to produce green steel. Today we're producing about 30% of our capacity as green. By the end of next year, it will be 100% green. And this is an opportunity not just for us as a consumer of steel and producer of components, but for the Indian auto component industry to take a lead in producing and supplying green components, because there will always be a small sector of the consumer market which is willing to adapt and accept this green steel and take that lead. So that's what we're trying to address. We see a lot of players in the renewable energy space and in EVs who are wanting to very quickly start buying green steel based products for their consumption.
Right. And what kind of capacity can we see you adding? What kind of investments when it comes to, decarbonization of steel?
We will make large investments in decarbonization. I think we will invest in about 700 megawatts additionally of renewable energy. And obviously there will be some other investments in the plant and equipment, etc. So first step is to take this capacity to about 300,000 tons and then modularly add to it at different locations.
Right. And, if I look at Bharat Forge Group today, you're placing bets on a range of businesses. Apart from steel, you're also big on mobility, aerospace, and so on. Yes. So how are all these different threads going to come together? What's your larger vision for Bharat Forge going to be?
See, our larger vision for Bharat Forge is to be, one of the foundation businesses that supplies into variety of sectors that enable tomorrow's India. So whether it is supplying to power gen, whether it's renewable energy, it's nuclear energy, whether it's hydro or steam, or in transportation such as rail, aerospace, buses, cars, defense, and a variety of other industries. So we want to be, at the foundation of any of these sectors.
Right. And how are you going to fund many of these bets? Will you have to raise capital? How are you going to go about it?
No, we don't need to raise any capital. We have adequate balance sheet, and we don't need to actually invest too much right now because we have quite a lot of capacity available. And, we have very strong cash flows, almost no debt, and absolutely no problem in investing going forward.
Right. Finally, we are just 2 weeks away from the union budget.
Yes.
Your one big reform wish list or one big reform ask that you have.
Okay, so the one big thing that I would ask for is ensure that there is parity or a good balance between input materials and finished goods. So importing raw materials versus importing finished goods. Don't penalize people who are adding value in India, because a lot of things that you do in future sectors need raw materials to come from outside India. And I'm talking about industries other than electronics. Electronics is a different game altogether. But I'm talking about aerospace and other things where a lot of inputs have to come from outside, and you need to provide, till there is capacity in India, ability for us to import it comparatively, convert it and send it out.
Thank you very much for talking to us.